All right. I was trying to make some content, so I was in a voice chat with the lads, and that's why I'm recording this now that it is a replay rather than at the time, because you would have heard like 8 or 9 people talking as we were all just bullshitting around. But I was grabbing some Ogre Kingdoms, inspired by Flying Taco, to fight against War God / Pigman, however you know him, which he started a YouTube channel, so if you feel like checking that out, you should go do that. Yeah, so he took the Empire, Templeoff Luminarch, and Elspeth von Draken, and some stuff starts happening right away at the start of the game, so I'm gonna slow-mo. We have 3 Sabertusk packs, some Ogre Bulls, Iron Fists, and then we have Golgi's Maneaters and Iron Guts, and then I have a front line of Gnoblars and Piggyback Riders. I do have the Eshin Maneater, and I do have the Slaughtermaster of Heavens. So this is Flying Taco's fault. Flying Taco convinced me, if you listen to our Ogre Kingdoms guide, he talks about this guy a lot, but he convinced me. So there's two things. One thing he didn't convince me of, he tried to say the Eshin Maneater is a good single entity. Like, he himself, not his abilities, is good. That's bullshit. This guy sucks. This guy sucks ass. But no. The part I do agree with after he taught me his ways, is marked for Eaton is crazy. Minus 40 melee defense and minus 30 armor, plus his Weeping Blade. You can turn Sabertusk packs into Demigryph / Empire Knight Destroyers, and I didn't think about that, because the thing about his Weeping Blade that I didn't really understand was ogres don't really lack armor piercing. Your Iron Guts have armor piercing, your Maneaters have armor piercing, your Ogre Bulls don't, but that's not usually what you use them for. And he's very expensive to provide that kind of support to a front line of like halberds. And for halberds, you have lead belchers to kill them, right? You have iron blasters, you have Nova scrap launchers, you have spells. You don't need armor piercing. But he's like, no, human boy, you stupid idiot, man. Sabertusk packs don't have armor piercing. They have crazy high weapon strength, but it's base weapon strength. So if you marked for Eaton and the cleave with the Weeping Blade, cavalry down, Sabertusk packs can all of a sudden devour them. And I was like, yes. And then also, I took Curse of the Midnight Wind for minus 30 armor, so even if I don't get into melee with someone, I can mark for Eaton them and Curse of Midnight Wind them and take 60 armor off the top and make them perfect targets for Sabertusk packs. Now on the other side, we have Elspeth von Draken with Doom and Darkness and Spirit Leech, Royal Altar of Gryphites with their Glorious Charge and Terror. We have some Empire Knights, a front line of Swordsmen, a back line of Spearmen. We have the Templeoff Luminarch, 2 Huntsmen, and they are deployed against this lake, so it is very hard to flank them. That is perfectly legal. That's fine. That's totally fine. I tried to hide my guy in the woods. Turns out, his angle wasn't quite right, and I was neither stalked nor protected. So, took a nasty bit of damage at the start of the game. Don't love that. Don't love that at all. He has some self-healing if I can get into melee with some basic Empire guys, but with the Luminarch around, that's going to be tougher. Second shot comes in. That had much more of the desired effect. So we're moving in. My Eshin Maneater is currently stalked, so no one knows he's there. My Slaughtermaster is safe and sound behind the trees. The Luminarch's going to have less targets. So here we go. Eshin Maneater is revealed. He is in. Marked for Eaton down on the Royal Altar of Gryphites. They've already done a lot of damage to my Sabertusk pack. And they still have 95 armor, so I'm trying to get the Eshin Maneater in there, but unfortunately the charge takes my Sabertusk pack out of it, and then these guys are going to run for the hills, a Spirit Leech onto my Eshin Maneater. So unfortunately the combo did not work because I mis-executed it at the start. Rip. But there we go. Empire Knight's down to 55 armor, making the Sabertusk packs much better at chomping through those guys, and the Royal Altar of Gryphites charge back into my Gnoblars and get some decent damage out. Piggyback Riders get run over by Empire Knights as well, taking a lot of damage. And the charge for the Ogre Kingdoms is not going ideal, as the Templeoff Luminarch has taken my Eshin Maneater down very low. I pop Maneater Smoke Bomb to make him unspottable, but we did get rid of the Empire Knights. Now the charge is still coming in. Blood Vultures charge over the top. Gonna jump on the Huntsman and just stop them from firing for a little bit, while my Slaughtermaster stays behind the trees so we can't get sniped by the Templeoff Luminarch. We have shattered 1 Empire Knight. Over here, the Royal Altar of Gryphites are busy running away from Golgi's Maneaters with Sabertusk between their toes. Iron Guts and Ogre Bulls are also piling in. We don't want to get too saturated on the same areas, so I do get my Sabertusk running through to the Huntsman. Some Ogre Bulls and Iron Guts on the front line. Golgi's Maneaters still doing their best. As the Eshin Maneater in the middle of all of these other bros, staying nice and safe. I give him a meat feast to heal him up in these dark times. And the Royal Fights are back in. They're fighting Golgi's Maneaters. But already we've routed some Huntsmen off the back. We forced the Temple of Luminarch to retreat. As I've broken through the front line of the Empire, Swordsmen are starting to retreat. And now my Slaughtermaster starts to move up. Now the Temple of Luminarch's a little busy. It just friendly fired the Royal of Griffites, but it did also still hit the Eshin Maneater. And here we go. Weeping Blade, 63 armor on these guys as Saber-Tooth packs are rolling through the back line. Saber-Tooth packs need to get up and go fight those Huntsmen for a bit. Looks like they might just do so, but the Huntsmen are firing in. Still, the Weeping Blade harasses the Royal of Griffites. The Temple of Luminarch tries to shoot at my Slaughtermaster, but there is a lot of mass between me and him. I'm just going to hope for the best. Oh, okay, it almost got through all those guys, but the Iron Guts stopped it with their faces, and the Blood Vultures are going to try and chase this guy down. Slaughter Brutes? Saber-Tooth packs. I don't know, I was being stupid there. They're trying to fight these guys, but the Royal Ultra Griffites did charge them in the back, which is a bit of a problem. Dismember just trying to slow those guys down and damage them. There is no healing for this Empire roster, so it'll be fine. Balance power is 50-50, as we have an unholy clump of Ogres and Noblars trying to get through these Spearmen and Swordsmen that are next to the lake. Temple of Luminarch gets to safety. It starts to aim at my Slaughtermaster again. There is less mass between me and danger, but I try and get behind the boys, and I do get behind the boys. Curse the Midnight Wind lowers the melee attack of Grundle's Defender to like nothing. They have literally 0 armor, and that is to try and help the Piggyback Riders kill them along with the Ogres. Temple of Luminarch gets a net onto my Iron Guts. It is going to fire a shot through all the lads, hits the Slaughtermaster twice. I saw 2 different ticks of damage, so that bullshit about not being able to hit things twice is not quite fixed yet. My Slaughtermaster almost routs, but he's going to try and go get to safety. Meanwhile, Huntsmen are firing up at Blood Vultures, who are trying to get a rear charge. The Temple of Luminarch is charging him another shot. The Ogres are getting through the front line, but the balance of power does not favor them. In comes the Templehof shot. Down the line, hits the Slaughtermaster, ticks for damage twice again, because that bug isn't fixed. You can't tell me that shit's fixed. I saw his health go down in 2 different chunks. The Ogres lose leadership, they lose heart, they're starting to terror out here and there. The Royal Ultra Griffites are routing, however, and a lot of balance of power is in a full health Elspeth and a full health Temple of Luminarch. That is a little fraudulent. She's not that good of a melee combatant if everybody's forced to fight it out, but our leadership is so bad. We keep some Iron Guts out of the fight for now. Don't want to pile up too many people, don't want to get a mass rout going like this, and there is an overcasted doom and darkness onto Golgi's Maneaters, plus all these Ogres. Everybody is routing for the Ogres except for this Iron Gut. We have some Piggyback Riders also coming back, but the Maneaters, ITP keeps them in the fight. They aren't terror routed by no retreating Royal Ultra Griffites. They don't care. They get onto the Huntsmen. Going after the Huntsman for now, because Temple of Luminarch was forced to back up, so it's not an immediate threat, and I really needed to get into melee combat, otherwise these guys were going to rout if they didn't have their charge bonus. But the Empire doesn't have the resources to chase my guys down, so after that doom and darkness wears off, these guys are starting to come to their senses, gather their wits at the edge of the map, and return to the fight. Balance of power is still not great for the Ogres, but I think our actual game state is doing fine. The Eshin Maneater, by the way, still alive. He's still kicking off in the distance. Oh shit, the Luminarch saw it too. Never mind, he's dead. Literally as soon as I point at him, he's dead. Golgi's Maneaters cleaving through Swordsmen. Now Elspeth von Draken is having to deal with them. It looks like a net is going on to my Iron Guts, but there's no damage, no one to stop them. Temple of Luminarch has 1, maybe 2 shots left. It has 2 shots left. Golgi's Maneaters continuing to fight. We have Ogre Bulls, Iron Guts. We have more Iron Guts on the low ground, Piggyback Riders, Noblars, all this stuff. It's just a lot. But in comes a rear charge from the Royal Ultra Griffites. They're trying to take down the Maneaters' leadership. It doesn't quite work, and the Maneaters just straight up club them all to death. Damn. Ogre's in the lead on the balance power for the first time this game. We have some Spearmen, some Huntsmen trying to rally, trying to get their shots in. Temple of Luminarch only has 1 volley left in it, so I turn the Maneaters onto Elspeth instead. She's the more important target. She tries to flee. 66 speed versus their 46. They shouldn't be able to catch her, as the Grundle's defenders are completely surrounded by Piggyback Riders. And Iron Guts, of course, so they are taking some damage. They're tanky lads. They're hard to get rid of. In comes the last Temple of Luminarch shot. A Spirit Leech as well onto the Iron Guts, and the Luminarch shot hits the hill it is hiding behind. It's no good. Oof. That is absolutely the nail in the coffin. Another tier 3 army ability, Meat Feast, onto the Maneaters, who charge uphill into Temple of Luminarch. It was trying to hit them. Instead, it gets hit. There's just no DPS left. The Empire's got no boys, got no lads. And these man-eaters put in work. I've been casting a good amount of Ogres replays recently, and the Golgie's man-eater's doing alright. Okay, cool. Alright, sick. At this point, there's nothing I can do. Even a Doom and Darkness wouldn't get these guys to rout, and army losses takes the Empire. GG, Flying Taco and Ogres and everything he taught me, because he's a genius man. Escher Man-Eater still sucks, didn't get a lot of value, but his Weeping Blade and his debuff are very nice. Golgie's Man-Eaters are actually good. Iron Guts are actually good, though I knew that ahead of time. Piggyback Riders are fucking cracked. Everybody knew that. That's not news. And then, the Heavens Caster got sniped, but I don't blame him. I think that was just Temple off Luminarch things. So, he tried to stay safe. Saber Pax did alright. Blood Vulture did alright. For War God / Pigman, Elspeth did fine. Spearman did pretty well. Huntsman got shut down quite quickly. Empire Knights also got shut down very quickly. Royal Drifgraphites had a tough time. But the Temple of Luminarch tried to carry that whole game. It was not able to. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.